What a night. Michigan State wins against Butler. They looked really good. They covered. The cover was really not in doubt at all in the second half. You had a good run to start the second half and kind of just pulled away. 74-54 was the final. Tyson Walker, stellar. I mean, first team All-American type stuff from him right now. 21 points. He had 16, I believe, at half, and then kind of coasted from there. AJ Hoggard finished with 14, 6, and 4. I don't know how he finished with 14, 6, and 4. I think a lot of that came in garbage time, but I guess the garbage time that is better than never that. So that's a good sign. The big story pregame was Carson Cooper was in the lineup instead of Mady Sissoko. I think other people will tell you that that was a crazy needle moving moment that really worked. I think it worked. I don't think it was like the reason Michigan State won by 20. I actually thought Mady was better off the bench tonight, and I thought Cooper was better in the lineup. So give Tom Izzo credit, but I don't think it was like Cooper gave you some level we've never seen before. He just played pretty well.
Yeah, he rebounded the ball well and he walled up defensively. He had his breakdowns just like he kind of does during games, but it just I think honestly it just probably just kind of settled people down as much. Like people didn't hold Mady to the starting center kind of like there was nothing Mady could do unless he had a aircraft game basically every single time he went out there. And Coop ties his shoes and touches his barbed wire tattoo, and the Breslin Center raises out in Coop chant. So it's like I mean, he did some good things. Don't get me wrong. Like 11 rebounds. I thought he was honestly great at just walling up and not having stupid fouls. Like that by itself felt like a win. And to be honest with you, this is the main thing I want to talk about with this game. AJ Hoggard is not back, folks. Like he's not. This is the pattern. This is the pattern that he goes through. This is the story of AJ Hoggard's career. He will have all these bad games, have one good game. Everyone's like, oh, AJ Hoggard's back. Oh, he's shaking it off. Oh, he's back. A lot of his buckets in this game were garbage time. I didn't think he played well at all in the first half. If anything, I just want to give credit to Michigan State's defensive effort in this game. I thought they were really good defensively. Butler did help that a little bit. Butler looked very rattled in the half court and didn't really do much. DJ Davis was scared to shoot for most of the game, which is crazy as a 42% career 3-point shooter. Polish Alexander had to work hard for everything. And, it's just a good win. It's a good win. It's good to pull away, win by 20, actually. Felt good. One downside, Pierre Brooks dunked on Colin Carr in this game, and that was nasty. And the biggest loser of the night is the Breslin Center crowd, the Izone, for chirping Pierre Brooks. Shame on you guys. It was an amicable breakup. He wanted to go get greener pastures, and he wasn't going to get them here. I don't know why we're booing Pierre Brooks. That makes absolutely zero sense to me. And the fact that I had to read a bunch of beat writers' tweets that Pierre's getting nasty things thrown at him from the Izone, like, what are we actually doing out here? But all in all, you win a game by 20. That feels good. And, we had Alcorn State on Sunday, and then we got a big one against Arizona. But there were some things that gave me a hope of positivity out of this game. It has me feeling good at the end of it. And I don't know if I've felt that yet with this team. This is the first game all year where I feel good about the win.
Yeah, you should. It was a good performance. It truly was. I mean, I had to leave a group chat with you because you were real concerned that they got the call right on the technical.
I wasn't concerned. I was saying I understood why they gave it to him. He dunked on somebody, looked at the guy and said, "On your fucking head," and pointed at him, screamed it.
Yeah, that's something you've never supported before, certainly.
No, it's I told you I supported it. I told you Pierre should have done way worse, but you gotta expect.
I told you, and I stand by. I told you were acting like a poverty program in that moment.
You got it.
Love that call. If you love that technical call,
never said I love the call. I said I understood why the Stripes did it. It makes sense. I know how to get text. I know that gets you text.
Okay, got it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, rough night for Pierre. I thought he had some good moments. He had the big dunk over Colin Carr, who continues to do nothing on a basketball court but dunky dunks. He hit a couple of big threes, and then he hit the handshake line, and AJ Hoggard gave him the coldest brush by in the history of handshake line brush bys. Did you like that from AJ? Do you think that was a bit dramatic from AJ? What do you think?
Yeah, it's I mean, I don't even, honestly, I really don't care about it. It was just funny to me. Like, what is that? Where did that stem from?
I mean, they clearly hate each other, but
I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it?
maybe
If
I
you're
don't
Pierre,
know.
if you're Pierre Brooks, wouldn't you hate AJ Hogard?
I don't know. I mean, Pierre got a lot of warm reception. You can watch the video. David Harns
Oh
tweeted
yeah,
it out. It was like a 58-second. He got a lot of warm reception, like real dap hugs, smiles from everybody. And then AJ made sure to give him not just a walk with his hand down, but a shoulder a little bit too. And by the way, AJ's the one that moved when they hit the shoulders. Pierre moved AJ, not the other way around.
oh
So
my God,
just
Craig,
saying. I'm just saying.
that's crazy.
Is it wrong?
I mean, that's just wild that you took. That's what you took out of that.
Listen, man, AJ, I give AJ credit. He finally had his good box score night of the first time this season. He got a nice little technical with a minute left, doing the too small sign on a backup from Butler. And then he really made his presence known in the hand, like just the winningest guy.
That's not even how he got his tech.
One of the winningest guys in Michigan State history, AJ Hogard. Anyways, back to basketball. Sorry. Yeah, I think the important thing to me from this game, I called it out pregame and ended up being wrong about it, was that Michigan State's other guys hit shots. That's the first time that's happened this game or this season. And Tyson led the way. That's great. He's going to have to do that every game. Jaden Akins hit a couple threes tonight. He had the early flurry. He finished 2 for 6. But I'm more concerned, like, what do the guys that aren't Jaden and Tyson look like? And tonight, what are you saying?
Sorry. I'm saying I'm kind of concerned about Jaden.
We'll come back to Jaden, but
okay.
tonight the guys that aren't Jaden and Tyson, AJ was 1 for 2 from 3, Holloman 1 for 2 from 3, Jeremy Fears 1 for 2 from 3 in 16 minutes, and then Xavier Booker in a massive 6-minute stint tonight, 1 for 2 from 3. So you got 4 guys that hit a 3, shot 2 of them. Like, to me, that's small baby steps forward from the group that I think you need to see some shooting promise from to earn respect from defenses. And I don't think that was a small part of this game at all. Like, I think the other guys hitting threes is a big reason why they were able to create some separation in this game. You want to talk about Akins? You are not the only Michigan State person that I got some private frustration from on Akins tonight. A couple different group chats I'm in. We're kind of like, Jaden hasn't gotten any better, has he? Where are you at with Jaden Akins right now?
What a segue that is. I am concerned with the fact that I don't think Jaden Akins has shown that he's gotten better from last season. I think he's been struggling at the rim, and on top of him struggling at the rim, I think he's missing a lot of shots that he usually makes. Now, do those shots fall? Yeah, but at what point do we get in the season like, oh, well, it's okay, Jaden shots are going to fall. Then all of a sudden we're at Big Ten play and Jaden Akins is shooting low 30s from the 3-point range. Like, it's beginning to get a bit concerning. I thought he missed a lot of easy looks, both from 3-point range and at the basket, which is even more concerning, which was supposed to be he put on 10 to 15 pounds this summer. He looks visibly bigger. That was supposed to help him finish at the rim. He's not finishing at the rim. I think he's having trouble blowing by guys if he's not getting to the rim. I'm just a little bit concerned with Jaden's play so far as if he's gotten better. And I feel bad saying that because I think that out of many of the players on the team, he's been the one that's been consistent with his effort and actually like playing hard. I think some other guys have been checking in and out, unfortunately, throughout the season so far, even though it's early. But it does raise a little bit of a red flag to me that I have watched now 4 games of Michigan State, and I can firmly say that out of this 4-game sample size, that if I had to make a judgment, is that Jaden Akins has not gotten any better from last season, and that is not good for Michigan State.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say right now it doesn't look like he's gotten any better, one. And then I would just add, I think a big part of looking better truly is opportunity. And I know people will push back on me and say, like, Akins has opportunity. Like, he's getting more shots than he's ever had. That's true. I still say, I still believe it. I think these shots are harder than shots he's ever had. I do.
So I do agree. I do agree with you. I think this game was not a showcase of that.
That's fine.
I thought that actually, I mean, a lot of his looks were easy tonight, real easy, especially at the rim too, which like I said. So I do agree with you. The spacing has caused issues with some of his easy shots, but tonight he actually found himself in a good bit of space, both behind the 3-point line and finishing at the rim, and he was not doing it.
Yeah, I mean I don't know. You're right. I think that's just going to happen some games from him. Like what is he, a 6'4" guard who his whole game is like mid-range jumpers and threes?
Yeah, but
Like that's
the thing is, it's not even mid range jump. I don't. That's what he truly has not gotten better. It doesn't look great.
but that's what does a better look like from him? Just like he's dunking on people easier? Like
He should be finishing at the rim better. Yes, I'm not saying dunking on people, but he should be
he's
finishing at
guarded
the
by a
rim.
bigger player than him every single game. Like there's no spacing. How's he going to finish the rim easier when there's no spacing against this
He's
defense?
athletic enough to finish at the rim.
Okay, so he needs to finish through three guys, including his defender,
No,
who's 4
he
inches
doesn't need to
taller than
finish
him.
through three guys. He needs to finish through one. He was missing one-on-one layups tonight. He was missing layups. He was smoking them.
Okay,
He needs to make those.
all right.
Tyson
Fair.
goes to the rim and he makes layups.
Tyson's
Like
one of the
Jaden
best
should be
players
able to
in the
make layups
country.
too.
Tyson's one of the
Huh?
best players in the country. Jaden is not.
Okay, I'm not saying he has to be Tyson, but he can I mean, I'm not trying to hear the he's guarded by three people thing. He's not. He's just missing easy shots.
Okay. All right, maybe Spartan Hoops TK can do me a cut up of every shot from Jaden Akins this year. My read is that they've been a lot more guarded than they've been in the past, and I guess you can spin that
I think you're
into
correct in previous games. I'm talking about just this game in general.
okay,
This game in general, it's on just Jaden had looks. He had great looks. He was
okay.
missing them.
2 for 6 from three, bad at the rim. Which I
Yep.
guess to your point, that's who he's been his whole career. But I don't know. I don't know what type of leap you're expecting. If you're just expecting him to start finish, like that's not his game. So if the only leap he was going to make was like changing the way he plays to get a new game, then I think like do you get what I'm saying? Like there are things within
But
his
like,
game that would be shown as a leap if he was playing a different role.
that also raises another point. I've always been a believer that if he had a more ball dominant role and had that role, he would be able to show out. And maybe with space, like you said, with spacing, he would. But there was a 4-minute stretch in this game, maybe like almost 6-minute stretch, where he had who did he have on the floor? I want to say he was out there with Fears and Tyson, and then maybe Cooper and Malik Hall, I believe it was. So obviously, you call that space, that lineup what it is. But he was given opportunities to come off ball screens. He was given opportunities to do things, and he could not dribble the ball. Like he did not have the handle to do it. And we've seen moments. I guess we want to go back to Moneyball where he can do it, or high school, but he had an opportunity to come off ball screens in this game or attack guys off closeouts. Honestly, smaller guys were guarding him in this regard, and he was not able to.
How much do you think Jaden Akins has practiced ball screen handling in the last 3 years?
Probably not a lot.
Like, are they're in Michigan State practices and the ball's in Jaden Akins' hand to make plays out of ball screens while AJ runs corner to corner? Like, I just, you get better at the role you prepare to play.
But he's also not doing good at the role he's supposed to be playing.
Isn't the role he's supposed to be playing volume shooting 3-point guy who plays the three? Like he's not making those because the threes are more contested to me because he's the only guy on the scouting report that's not Tyson Walker that you have to circle. So you're right. He missed some bunnies tonight. It was a 1-game sample size. You're right. If the only way Michigan State fans are going to point to Jaden and be like, he got better is if he starts finishing at the rim, I think you're going to be disappointed. That's just not his game. I don't think there's going to be an overnight, all of a sudden Jaden's a great finisher. That's not his game. So I guess if we're going to say at the end of the year, Jaden improved, he's going to need to either shoot 45% from three instead of 42% from three, or he's going to need to do more stuff with the ball. And he's not going to get the ball more because he doesn't need the ball. He's not as good as AJ or Tyson are on ball. So he kind of is who he is. But again, my point is the role they want him to play is part of why he looks like he is who he is. That's part of the conversation. There isn't a transcendent version of Jaden that's going to show up next to AJ and Tyson and look like some leap forward guy. There just isn't. That is who it is. Either shots are going to go in or they didn't. He was 3 for 12 tonight. All right. The only thing I feel like we haven't really talked about, and we probably should have more last episode after the Duke game a little more. Malik Hall has turned a corner early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
We criticized him loudly. He's really important, man. Even if he's not making threes, he's really important. If he's making his little turnaround, if he's just being solid, if he's defending, like Michigan State needs a player they know is going to give them 20 good minutes in the front court. And Right now, Malik Hall, I think, is the only guy they can say they're going to get that from every single game. Give him credit for doing it the last 2 games.
Yeah, I think the step that Malik has kind of taken or shown in his last couple games is that he's kind of abandoned the three somewhat. I mean, he's like he did shoot one tonight, I believe, but at the same time, he's also realizing that depending on who's guarding him, he can be able to maybe make a turnaround jumper or some type of post move. And I thought he was very assertive tonight and aggressive in just making that move. And whether he had a bigger guy on him, he kind of got him off balance a little bit by like dribbling up into the post move and making his move, or if he was guarded by a guy his same size that he could kind of use his strength against, he was able to get to the turnaround jumper or the hook. Yeah, so I thought he was really good, especially in the second half. He had a run there where he was getting us a lot of baskets and going to the basket strong when you had bigger guys on him. So, yeah, I think we need this type of play from Malik, and if we can get it, we especially need it right now with the way that AJ Hoggard has been playing. So, I'm still concerned about how he's going to space the floor because part of I feel like greedy. Like, yes, thank you, and it's great that he's getting us this, but like we need some type of floor spacing from him, and we need him to be able to hit threes. And I don't believe he hit one tonight. I think he only took one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's 0 for 1. He's 0 for 1. But as long as the other guys are making them, it's less important than Malik makes them. And I thought he was good. So, all right. Xavier Booker just never going to play more than 6 minutes.
I don't get it. It's pissing me off.
Okay. Just
Makes
check.
no sense. He also got into the game in the second half when he finally actually got in the second half, and there was a pick and roll with Jeremy Fears. And, what do you know? Xavier Booker pops out to the top of the key and hits a three.
Yeah. Hit a three tonight. He also had a bad travel in the first half, just so we're being accountable for his mistakes and his good plays. But hard to make an impact when you only play 6 minutes, and he continues to at least show flashes of a guy who can hit shots in those little minutes. So
Xavier Booker, though, one mistake. Hook him. Get him out of there. Like, let him play a little bit. He's a freshman. He's going to make some mistakes.
You say something I think you might say is very controversial, or maybe Michigan State fans in general will say is very controversial. I think Xavier Booker deserves the minutes Cohen Carr is getting right now. I want to see it. I haven't seen shit from Cohen Carr since the first game of the season. Haven't seen it.
Especially because also Izzo hasn't played him at the 4. For some reason, every time now that he comes into the game, he's playing him at the 3. He's not a 3. He's not a 3. He's never going to shoot the basketball. And most importantly, like to me, Cohen Carr's not making an impact on the boards right now at all. Like he's got the physicality, the athleticism to be like a dominant rebounder. He's not doing it. So it feels like Cohen's going to get double-digit minutes every single game, no matter what he does right now. And the same doesn't apply to Xavier Booker. I would flip that. That's all I'm saying. I would flip that. I want to see Xavier Booker play. All right, good win. Any final thoughts, parting thoughts for the people? No, I think that this feels good. I don't know if this is a needle mover for me as Michigan State as a team, to be honest with you. I was very unimpressed by Butler. I'm glad we did win by 20. I was very unimpressed by them as a team. But at the same time, am I going to pull up Butler's KenPom ranking and say that we beat them? You damn skippy I am. But at the same time, if Butler's playing that way, this should be a team that we should beat by 20. Don't know if it's necessarily a needle mover in any way for me, though. I will say that.
Yeah, I think that's fair. We really didn't talk about it enough, but I think the signs are there. You can be a very, very good defensive team. That's the one thing I would say. And while Butler was really bad tonight, I don't think it was like self-enforced. I think Michigan State made them really bad. And if you can do that to good teams, we don't think Butler's a good team. Let's be honest. Like they might be an okay team, but if Michigan State can make good teams struggle the way they made Butler struggle compared to how they had been playing, then it bodes really well. Michigan State can win games ugly, I think, which is fine. It's okay. Well, win's a win. Even if you win it ugly, it's okay. And if you want to hear the full breakdown, go listen to Unscripted on the Field of 68 with Johnny No One, and I forget the other guy's name.
I think John something.